Welcome back, video creeps. Man, have you ever had sex with somebody for the first time and it's kind of like, I wanted that to be better. But then you hook up a second time and it's just like, would you take notes? That is what happens in 1978. Holy cow. I'm not even, you know what we're doing. Fear Street, we already did. 1994, if you need to catch up on that, go watch that video. We're on to 1978. We're only going backwards in this series, people. I just finished watching it like 10 minutes ago, came up here, turned on I'm like, well, let's just go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Now, again, like this picks up right where the last one fucking ended, and like, boy, did they, everything about it, like just the vibe immediately we pick up with C. Berman, and she's living that rough life, y'all. She is not okay. She's not doing well. This bitch is straight up just eating frozen mac and cheese, and she's washing it down with Jim Beam. She's fucking Max Box 20 and shit. You can just see on her face, she's one of those people that like, they take a bath, but they don't use soap kind of thing. They just sit in the bathtub with that fucking 1,000-year stare. And Dina and the brother whose name I did not get again. Sorry, you're 2 for 2, bro. You better bring it in 1966. They show up at her house and then she tells the story of how like things were bad in 78. And then she tells us exactly why. She gives us the whole long story of like what happened at that summer camp. And y'all, it is crack. What a story. We see that Ziggy, or fucking, I'm gonna call her Sadie, because that's Stranger Things, you know, that's who she is. And like there's a lot of that in this movie, which I like too. Like the curly haired dude from fucking Halloween, he was in this. The little nerdy dude who's Sam's friend from fucking Pen 15, he was in this. I liked seeing him in this too. It was rough to see him die though. That was hard to watch, but I didn't have to because it was an off-screen kill, which was one of my like big complaints with the first movie. Is like, I was like, oh, there's way too little kills in this one. Like, I think in 1994 there's straight up like maybe 3 kills in the whole fucking movie. Yeah, things have changed. The body count in this movie is real. It is great. It is great. Again, it was my biggest gripe with the first movie. Also with fucking 1994, I also feel like it was kind of catering to a generation that didn't speak to the 1994 generation, like the kids that they were trying to, like, you know what I mean? It just wasn't, something didn't match up there. But I don't have that same complaint with this one. I very much felt like it was 1978, though I could still relate to those kids, and though like they were still doing like kid shit, I still felt and believed that those were kids from 1978, and that felt fucking cool. Even though like what I couldn't relate to was the fucking camp that they were at. Like, what was this magical camp that people did like color wars and shit? That was dope. I went to Camp Mariah, short for Camp Mariah Carey. That's right, video creep. That's right, that's where I saw Harry Potter for the first time. You're a wizard, Harry, fuck with me. Also, there was a girl named Sunshine. She was the first most forward girl I ever met in my life. We were just walking along a path, and she was like, yo, do you think I'm pretty? I was like, yeah, I think you're pretty cute. She was like, bet, hold my hand. I just did. But we sure as shit did not get to do like color wars and shit. Like I remember swimming a lot. And then at the end of the summer, this has nothing to do with 1978. Now I'm just giving you shit about my life. But at the end of the summer, like fucking, you would stand on a line, and like she would stand next to a big, like 2 big garbage bags, and one had a bunch of like tape players and the other one had CD players, and you got to like meet Mariah Carey very briefly. And she goes, hi, thanks for coming to my camp. Do you want a CD player? Do you want to like fucking, it was cool. I always went CD player. But that was like the gist of it. We weren't doing cool shit. I certainly didn't get pussy at fucking Camp Mariah. That did not happen. Another one of my gripes from the last movie that I think was significantly different in this one was, yo, I liked all these characters. I liked Cindy. I liked Ziggy. I liked Nick. I even liked Tommy. Though, quick gripe about Tommy and shit. Why was his hair different in almost every single scene? It was noticeable and I didn't like it. That's like, I noticed every single time because it was so easy to spot. In one shot, his hair would be like slicked all the way back, and then it would turn away, and then like his hair would be in his front, and then like at some point he has stringy hair. What happened, man? Where was your continuity expert? Like, it's just, I couldn't help but fucking see that shit. I like the tension in the intro with fucking Nurse Lane and shit, who like Okay, Nurse Lane, you are damaged fucking goods. Why did you think that you would be able to work with kids when you're still fucking fucked in the back of your brain and shit? Seeing your fucking dead daughter's mug on the smile of every child? I don't know, take up accounting or some shit. Stop fucking with kids. You're wasted. Again, the soundtrack was fucking bumping in this movie. That's something, it's noticeably good. But I will say, like, not always appropriately toned. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some fucking straight bangers in here. There's like Velvet Underground, Bowie, the Buzzcocks are in this fucking thing. But while like watching a movie and like listening to the song choices, you can't help but feel like, yo, like, this guy just wanted me to hear his playlist. It was a little bit easier for this film to stay musically within the generation that it came out in and shit. Since it's 78, it's kind of pushed all the way to the end. They didn't have so few like mega hits and shit. So like, you know, you look at 1994, we were only 4 years into the 90s. We got some stuff that came out in like 97 and shit. Since this one's 78, we had a good chunk to fucking choose from. So you don't see that so much. Not never, it does happen. But again, that's like Tommy's hair. Like, while it does bug me and it's noticeable, it's not enough to bar me from watching this movie and enjoying it. I thought he did a great job just walking around with his axe. His kills were dope in this movie. From the first like fucking axe to the face, which is just brutal and awesome. Rest in peace, Arnie. But yo, that shit looked good. Another standout in this thing was that decapitation of the dude from Halloween. I'm sure they said his name, but the kills were fun. It was brutal. It was bloody. It was fucking, this is what I wanted from the first Fear Street. And it was also to see how Tommy becomes the sackhead, and it gives like us this cool little dialogue that all of these weird killers that we see. I was upset most of the time because in that trailer we saw the fucking baby head killer and like we didn't get to see him at all, but now we know that those are all former murderers and shit. Like, oh, that is fucking cool. Sadie or Ziggy eventually actually surviving, I will say that that was a bit predictable as well. I kind of saw that coming just because casting, like, it didn't look like the Cindy actress would grow up to be this other one, but fucking Ziggy totally looked like she could grow up to be that fucking, what they call her, Christina or some shit. But even though that was predictable, I still enjoyed it. I think the coolest thing about 1978 is that it's fucking good. That simple. It's just fucking enjoyable. The A, B, and C storyline is great. I love the main story with fucking Cindy, and she's in the fucking witch's cavern trying to get the fuck out. That was crack. Then above ground, you have what's going on with Ziggy and Nick, and I thought that their relationship was really, really cool too. And then to know that we're gonna see a little bit more of that going forward, like fucking, I stan Ziggy and Nick. I want those kids to get together. And then the original storyline that carried over from Dina, like, that was fucking cool. And then where we leave it with like seeing all the characters that were dead, all these people playing the fucking characters from 1966, that's gonna be fucking cool. And it looks dark. It looks like we're gonna get a real shift tone in the movie, so I'm excited for that. Like, I didn't think I would be. Ultimately, 1978 was a fucking make or break film for me. It was gonna heavily depend on how this film did as to how it would feel going into 1966. And I feel very positive going into 1966 based off of what we just saw in 78. So I'm excited. I'm gonna watch that trailer again and see what's up. But for right now, these are my thoughts on 1978. If you're new here, fucking hit subscribe, check out some of my other videos. Then hit the notification bell if you want to hang out again. That always helps, that's cool. If you liked it, fucking like the video. I should have told you to do it in the beginning of it. I just didn't do it. I didn't do it. And if you go into the description of this video, you'll find links to all of my social media, so that way you and I can be friends. Wouldn't that be nice? You know, friendship, fucking, you know. Everyone needs them. And if you really want to go above and beyond, then you can become a Patreon of mine for as little as $3. I have a ton of exclusive content on there that you can go and check out. Plus, I will sing your praises in the Patreon song, which will play right after I say this. Peace, video creeps. Like a fun house in my mind, I think about you all the time. I gotta let you know how I feel inside. My Patreons, let's go. Rebecca Reviews and Kyoko, Larry Sherman and Corey Stewart, Carwoman and Spooky Butcher's Grindhouse, Lore X-Gore, Runs with Punks, Michael Andrews and Captain Boots, Grimnir, Survivor's Guilt and Flag Voorhees, Wig Wolf, Yo, Adrian and Leilani, oh, how I love thee. Thanks for being my Patreon. Even though you didn't have to do it, you did it anyway, and you rock. That's the opinion that we're gonna say. Because anything else would be really inappropriate. Super fucking inappropriate. And I'm gonna keep it cool. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it nice. Let me tell you, I'd fucking bend you over a plate of beans and rice. Sexy motherfucker. Oh god. I'm gonna fucking explode. I'm gonna fucking explode appropriately. Super duper appropriately. Please don't be mad or not be a Patreon.